Hi. I've been thinking about a lot of things. I started this thing because I wanted an outlet to just talk about whatever was on my mind with no real point, no real topic in mind, just saying whatever. And it grew and it keeps growing. And I started with no expectations, and I still have no expectations, but I'd be lying if I said I had no expectations and I didn't like that fact that I've gotten some views and subscribers and everything. And that I like that stuff. But the point for me was always and is just to get stuff out of myself so it doesn't go around and around in my head. So I'm gonna start with the mission like I had before. Kind of build it and they will come. And I'm gonna say whatever I want to talk about, and if you like it, great. If you don't, you can pass. If you want to view, great. If you don't, great too. And I'm just gonna do me. So, so I've been thinking about, one of the things I was thinking about was today is the start of Black History Month, and I think Women's Heart Month, or the having a healthy heart, or because I don't know if you know this, as women, to women, heart disease and heart attacks are the number one killer of women beyond anything else. So keeping your heart healthy is huge. One thing is diet, of course, and or exercise. And also, I would say, this is personal for me, keeping the stress and drama down, which releases the tension, and then you don't get the headaches and the high blood pressure and everything else. So, okay. Speaking on Black History Month, now I've talked about music before, and I've talked about movies and everything else before. Alright, I have to put a disclaimer on it a bit. Although this should be known, I listen to music and I like music because of the beat and sometimes the lyrics and whatever. And I do not look at the color, skin, or anything like that of the artist. I just like it because it's good music. I like things from Pink Floyd to Madonna to Mariah Carey to some Busta Rhymes to Maroon 5 to some country to some R&B, some jazz. You name it, I've probably heard a bit of it, and if it's good, I like it. Now, good is subjective, I know that, but I'm saying if it has a beat and I can dance to it, I like it. Okay. All that being said, my favorite artist from when I was 8 or 9 is and was Mariah Carey. She has one of the most amazing octave ranges you've ever heard in your life, only comparable to I'd say Whitney Houston or someone like that. There are a few in her class, yes. Aretha Franklin is also one of them. And I'd say Celine Dion. Okay, Mariah Carey just hit a nerve with me when I was growing up because she's okay. She wrote her own songs and wrote her own music, which I never heard of anybody who could do that before that. Yes, I know Prince and everybody can do that. I'm aware of it now, but I wasn't aware of it then. And so I started listening to her music from the beginning, the first CD, Mariah Carey, and I just liked all the songs she ever wrote because it was personal and it was to her and it wasn't commercialized and it wasn't extremely like I'm going to be pop. Now, granted, they did market her a certain way, and everybody knows that you can't deny it. I'm not denying it. I'm saying I like the way it sounded. I also like the stuff that she did when she was away from Columbia Records. I like the stuff when she was at Virgin Records. I like the stuff when she was at Def Jam or whatever. I like all of her, most of her stuff. I haven't heard any new stuff, and yes, I've heard the people who argue she doesn't have the same vocal range she did. But granted, she started when she was 1920. So it's been 20 years. Give the girl a break, okay? Also, she has one of the most, she's tied with number one hits with the Beatles, okay? Not too many people can say that. So, yeah, giving her props. And I know I mentioned Aretha Franklin in there too. Um, Aretha Franklin, I can see why they called her the Queen of Soul because she did things with normal music that most people wouldn't think to do. And she could just see it and hear it in her head of how it would go. And she was right. She would say, no, okay, we can take this piece of music, this song right here, and if we did this and that to it, it's going to be a completely different thing. And it would sell. She sold records. So you can't argue with that. Now, a lot of the people I was talking about, the diva title. Now, most times people take diva in a bad connotation as like demanding, whatever. Okay, granted. But diva can also mean the greatest, like diva of the opera. You know, they don't call it soprano for nothing. So, alright. Since we're talking about greatest today, which I didn't know where I was gonna go exactly with this, we have to talk about the Williams sisters and tennis, Serena and Venus. I only put Serena and Venus in that order because it's alphabetical. I don't care who has more titles than the other one or who's better than the other one. They're both pretty great to me. And Serena, and see, the thing is like the media turns it and says, oh, she retired because now she's going to be a mom. And like, how dare she try to do that? And she could do both and all this other stuff. Okay. First of all, who are are you to judge? Have you ever tried swinging a racket and doing all the stuff they do in training and all this stuff for hours and hours and hours a day, and then have a kid on top of that and do all the motherly demands and stuff? Have you tried it? Unless you have, I don't think you have space to talk. Now, Venus, I don't know. I don't think she's had kids yet, but that's not the point. I don't know why she retired. Maybe she didn't want to play tennis anymore. Maybe she wanted to focus on her other passions in life. People see people sometimes and think that that's all they do, and that's all. But Venus or Serena is a tennis player, period. And they can't see beyond that. Maybe she wants to be a parent, a designer, a marketer, or whatever. Maybe she wants to be a dancer. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm saying that we need to give people room and not be so fed up with titles and boxes. I hate boxes. Yeah, so the only thing, okay, there's two things I want to say today, for sure. Two things. Be kind to people. It doesn't cost anything. And don't judge people based on appearance and based on what you want them to be. That's it. Okay. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, click a like button. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. Have a good one.